Hello everyone, I'm Amulya B.R. from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering and I belong to the branch CSE AI. So today I'm back with another video on the subject Biology for Engineers and with the topic Skeletal System. So now let us see what we are going to learn today. So the contents are Introduction to the Skeletal System, the components of skeletal system, bones and cartilage, tendons and ligaments, joints and types of movement, axial and appendicular skeletal system, bone disorder and disease, artificial bones, and its conclusion. So let me now introduce the skeletal system to you all. So the skeletal system consists of the bones, joints, connective tissues, etc. So the basic unit of a bone is nothing but the osteoblast. So these osteoblasts are nothing but the smallest cells of the bones. So they form osteoclasts. That is the cartilage, the smallest cell in a cartilage is called osteoclast and the smallest cell of the bone is called osteoblast. So the bone, it allows us to stand and serve as a structural support to our body, so it also can protect the vital organs such as heart, lungs, and also the brain. So the bone acts also as a reservoir for calcium and minerals. So the bones consist of many other parts like femur, humerus, radius, etc. So the joints, it consists of hinge joint, saddle joint, pivot joint, and many other types of joints. Let us see them in the further slides. The components of skeletal system are bones, cartilage, axial and appendicular skeleton, ligaments, tendons, and joints. So, as I told earlier, bones, that is nothing but the smallest unit of bones is called osteoblast. So, this is the picture of bone, and then this is the picture of cartilage, that is the smallest unit is called osteoclast. So, this is the picture of axial and appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton, it comprises of skull, vertebra, and the um, rib cage. So the appendicular skeleton, it consists of the limbs and the girdles. So this is the picture of tendons and ligaments. So here is the picture of joints. As I told earlier, the bones and cartilage will provide the structural and the structural framework and also the support for a body. So during birth, the humans will have 270 bones. So this in later stages will be merged to form 206 bones in total. So this will consist of the bones in our arms, legs, and ribs, etc. So it also provides or the produces the blood cells in the bone marrow. The bones will work with the joints and muscles to hold a body together and also provide the movement in our body. The body, it needs a balanced diet. So the healthy bone will also lead to a balanced diet. So the skeleton will consist of the skull bone, the spinal cord, that is the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar vertebrae, and the chest bone, that is the ribs, and hands. In hands, it is nothing but the carpals, metacarpals, and the phalanges. So in feet, again, it is tarsal, metatarsals, and also the phalanges. So the bone tissue. So coming to the tissue of the bone, it is compact and dense, so it is very hard, and the bone marrow will also be like a jelly-like substances, so it produces the blood cells. The bone cells, as I told earlier, it is called as osteoblast. So the osteoblasts are usually the cells that build the bone tissue. So cartilage, it has a loose or the flexible connective tissue when compared to the bones. So these cartilage will allow the movement between the bones. So it is a cushion-like structure, like without any frictionless. So it provides the frictionless movement between the bones. So there are three types of cartilage, namely hyaline cartilage, fibrous cartilage, and elastic cartilage. So basically, the bones and cartilage will provide the structural and the framework for our body. Tendons and ligaments. So tendons are the connective tissue that connects the bone to the muscle tissue. That is, the muscle tissue will be articulated to the bone using the tendon. So, and the ligaments are nothing but the connective tissues that provide the bone to bone connection. That is, it provides the smooth movement or without any friction between two bones, they connect them. So these both are made up of these tough bands of fibrous connective tissues. They compose of collagen fibers. So these collagen fibers, they provide the durability and also the strength. So the tendons, they provide the or they transmit the force that is generated by the muscle tissue. When they contract, it transmits the contraction onto the bones. Joints and types of movement. So types of joints are fibrous joints, cartilaginous joints, synovial joints, hinge joints, ball and socket joints, pivot joints, saddle joint, gliding joint, and the ellipsoidal joints. So here we can see some of the joints. So here in the fibrous joints, it is used in the skull bones to connect the various different parts of the skull. So fibrous joints is used. So here we can see the saddle joint. So saddle joint is usually present in the wrist. So in the wrist, between the smaller bones, it is present. And the pivot joint. Pivot joint is present uh, between the vertebrae and the last bone of the skull. And here we have the synovial joint. So synovial joint is present between the bones. So between the cartilage. So they provide the movement, the smooth movement between the two bones. And then we have the ball and socket joint. So the ball and socket joint is usually present in the pectoral girdle or the pelvic girdle. So they are usually present between the articulation between the shoulder and also the scapula. So they provide the movement accordingly. Axial and appendicular skeletal system. So the axial skeletal system, it comprises of three parts, that is the skull bone and the vertebral column and also the rib cage. So the rib cage and also all the three together, they provide the protection for vital organs of the body, and also it provides the attachment for the muscles. So for example, the skeleton, that is the skull bone, it provides the protection for the brain. So it prevents any damage that is occurring to the brain. So the rib cage, it provides the support or the protection for the lungs and also the heart, that is very vital organ of a body. And then the rib cage, the vertebral column, it provides the protection for the spinal cord, and it hosts or houses in between the vertebral column. The appendicular skeletal system, it comprises of the limbs, that is the hand limbs or the legs, the bones of the hands or legs, and also the pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. So pectoral girdle, it provides for the attachment of shoulder to the axial skeleton, and then the pelvic girdle, it provides the thigh bones or the legs, the bone in the legs, to uh, attach to the axial skeletal using the pelvic girdle. Bone disorders and diseases. So various bone disorders are osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, bone cancer, gout, and spondylitis. So let us see one by one. So osteoporosis. So osteoporosis is a condition. It is usually found in women after menopause. That is, when the estrogen levels are in decreased levels. So the osteoporosis is characterized by the weakened bones, that is, they become brittle and also they are very much prone to the fractures. So the bone density and strength is also reduced, and they develop small holes or the pores in the bone. So osteoarthritis. So osteoarthritis is a condition wherein the cartilage is affected. So the cartilage gradually over time, so it breaks down, and the mobility between the bones is gradually reduced, and there'll be stiffness that is present between bones. So the rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is a condition wherein it is an autoimmune disorder. It provides sorry it causes inflammation or the pain in the joints. So it deforms the joints, and it usually leads to the lesser movement between the bones. A bone cancer. So the bone cancer is of two types, that is the primary bone cancer and secondary. So the primary bone cancer, it occurs in the bone tissue itself, whereas the secondary bone cancer, it will occur anywhere else in the body and then spread to the bone. So this again gradually weakens the bone tissue. So then gout. So gout is usually caused by the inflammation. It is a type of arthritis that causes inflammation due to the accumulation of uric acid in the joints. So it causes the pain, inflammation in the joints, and it can lead to the deformalities of the joints. So spondylitis. So spondylitis is again an inflammatory condition which affects the vertebral column. So it can cause the pain or eventually fusion of the vertebral columns to one another. So it also affects the tendons all and many other parts of the body. So here we have a picture that can picturize the rheumatoid arthritis and also the osteoporosis. Artificial bones. So artificial bones are nothing but the ways of creating the bones in a natural way or an artificial way using the technologies. So there are types of artificial bones are allograft, xenograft, synthetic bone graft, bone morphogenic proteins, 3D printed bone scaffold, and then the stem cell based therapy. So let us look at it one by one. Allograft. So allograft is nothing but uh, the regeneration of the bone, but they are done by using the human donor. So a human can donate the graft of the bone, and then it is implanted, and then the new bone is promoted, the growth is promoted. So the xenograft. So xenograft is similar to the allograft, but here the donors are not humans but the animals. Then synthetic bone graft. So these are the man-made materials. So they are designed to mimic the structure and composition of natural bone. So the materials that are used, it can be the calcium phosphate ceramics and also the hydroxyapatite. So these materials are used due to their biocompatibility and also the ability to integrate with natural bone tissue. Bone morphogenetic proteins, so BMPs in short, they they can replace the specific proteins that are missing in the bones. So they also help in the healing and bone development. So 3D printing bone scaffolds. So the 3D printed bone scaffolds are again the man-made or the human-made technology. That is, by using the 3D printing technology, they can mimic the natural qualities and compositions of the composition may differ, but the structure of the structure of the 3D printed bone will be the similar to the natural bone. And then stem cell based therapies. So in these stem cell based therapy, the donors are not the humans, the other humans, or not the animals, but from the own body itself. So the scaffolds are taken from the patient's own body. So this is usually done because the rejection of the bone cells should not occur. So the compatibility will be more for the one's own human bone. So this will enhance the natural healing process also. So these are the various methods by which we can produce the artificial bones. I would like to tell each and everyone to please like the video and share the video with your friends. I will come back again with another video of different topic. Until then, have a good time. Thank you.